Miss Deborah is all about lose weight with me. And honey, but Michelle, she's all about leaving large. And we are actually um a weekly telecast. So we want you to come on Thursday, 6:30 Central Time or 7:30 Central Time if we're busy, tired, or otherwise engaged. But what we are is committed to encouraging each other, encouraging those celebrating with you. Some of you have already lost a lot of weight. You're tuning in. Baby, let's talk. Tonight's topic is what emotions drive you to eat. Did I say that correctly, Michelle?
That's it.
Okay,
That's
excellent.
it.
So go right ahead, get us started, Michelle. Thank you so much. We're so grateful that you are giving your service and your time tonight. So talk to us.
Okay, Miss Deborah Ann, thank you so much for having this platform. I cannot
Oh,
tell
you're
you
welcome.
how important this lose weight with me is. And one of
Yes.
the things that's so important about it is that it's lose weight with me. It means that we are all in this together, right? We're
Yes.
all in this together
Yes.
because we are all assaulted together by this toxic food environment that wants us to eat for reasons that don't have anything to do with hunger. And that
Oh, yeah.
ties so perfectly into the question of the night, right? Which is what we're going to
Hmm.
do every Thursday night. When you and I get together on Thursday nights at 6:30 Central or 7:30 Eastern time where I am, or whatever time it happens to be wherever you are, we're going to unpack the question of the night, right?
Okay.
And tonight it is, what emotions cause you to overeat, right?
Every last
And
one of them.
every last one.
You
It's
name it, that
yeah,
emotion.
right, right. And Deborah, like you nailed it, because I will tell you the breakthrough happened for me on my journey really when it just became clear that I was unconsciously eating too much of the wrong things for the wrong reasons. And that wrong reasons part, that's the emotion. That's the emotion
Yes.
part. That
Yes.
sometimes when we're in it, we don't always know it.
Hmm.
We don't feel it. Because I gotta tell you something, and if anybody is watching and you're in the chat and you're like this, I never said to myself, you know what? I think that I am frustrated. I'm gonna go eat a gallon of ice cream.
Mm.
It never happened like that. Or you know what? Somebody, they just pissed me off. My boss just pissed me off. I think I'm gonna go to lunch and I'm gonna eat two pizzas. I never that n- it the line is not like that. It doesn't happen like that. And
Hmm.
I don't know, when I'm coaching, when I'm working with people in my group, and for the past couple of weeks we have been unpacking emotions, right? We've talked about anger, we've talked about eating out of fear, right? We've
Hmm.
talked about eating out of shame. This
Hmm.
week we're talking about lack of forgiveness, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
at the root of all of that is that when we have emotions that are inside of us that are unprocessed, that don't have a healthy outlet, that causes us some discomfort and it causes us some pain. It puts us in this place of where we kind of like feel like we want to go to the kitchen, right? We feel like we feel like we need I mean, you're just standing in front of the refrigerator and you don't know why, right? Is that
But
you
ain't
just
nothing in that refrigerator but some salads and some vegetables and some celery. Okay, I'm like, okay.
you know but it just what what it shows up, Deborah Ann, and I do.
Hmm.
I want anybody just to comment about what emotions take you someplace, because we hear
Hmm.
all the time, oh, I eat when I'm lonely, I eat when I'm bored, I eat, I eat when I'm stressed. But there are hundreds of other emotions that are just lurking around, right? To send
Hmm.
us out of control, and we don't realize what it is until we stop down.
Let
right.
me admit something, Michelle. I'm a single woman. I'm going to admit that as a single woman, I have been eating out of loneliness. It's not where I wake up and go, oh, I feel lonely. But God made Adam and Eve. I'm supposed to have a husband or two or three divorces behind me, kids that's grown and some grand. I'm supposed to have somebody over here next to me. I'm supposed to be on this side of the bed, and he's
Right.
supposed to be on this side of the bed.
Right. Right.
Not just and that. I know y'all some strong BLACKWOMAN. I know y'all all of that. Y'all INDEPENT foolishness. Y'all boss BITC. I know y'all all of that. But I'm gonna go ahead and say those of us who are single, we're really not supposed to be. Now I'm not talking about those of y'all talking about I don't need no MAN. Yeah, please spare me all of that foolishness. We're
Mhm.
not supposed to be single because we're
Mhm.
made to nurture somebody.
Mhm.
And so I
Mhm.
think that part of that I want to be on a date.
Mhm.
And for those of y'all who like paying for the date, I ain't talking about that kind. I'm talking about the
Mhm.
kind where the hero who's not a zero come in and save the day.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
Because we have been groomed for that our entire lives.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
we're watching all these videos about the African wedding. Y'all see them every day. The wedding gowns, the bridal party gifts. We're supposed to be having that experience
Right.
or have
Right.
had that experience.
Right.
And no matter what you say, of course, I'm in the All Things Feminine Dating Academy. So we do are taught how to prepare ourselves and attract the right type of man, and I'm in that process. But for most of us who haven't gotten there and don't have that coaching, that is not going to change.
Mhm.
So
And
how do we deal with the truth? And you keep saying sit in it.
right.
Am I want to
Right.
sit in
Oh,
loneliness?
yeah. So you know what, Deborah Ann, here's what there's an even deeper level to what you're saying about that puts us in pain. And that is this, is that if we are built for connection, if we assume
Mm-hmm.
that, if we believe that we are built for connection,
Mm-hmm.
we're built to be in partnership, to support and be supportive, and we don't have that special person in our life, then if we are rooted in we've got some self-esteem issues going on, if we have some self-confidence issues going on, if we have some shame issues going on, then what we say to ourselves is that the reason that I don't have this love of my life, this relationship, the reason that I'm lonely is because there's something wrong with me. That
Or there's something
it
wrong with them, which both of them are equally detrimental.
Right. And that's painful, right?
Yes.
That's painful. And that's the thing that the ice cream won't solve, that the cookies won't solve, that
Hmm.
no level of whatever you eat is ever going to solve. And I remember like a while back, I was out I've had 2 situations. I was out at dinner with some friends, and one person at the table said, "As I sit around here and I look at the as I look at this table, I see that all the women that have weight issues aren't," she didn't say booed up, but that's what she meant. And all
Hmm.
the and all the skinny women, they are married or in relationships. I
Hmm.
heard that. And then I went someplace else, and I was in a room full of, smart, attractive, badass single women. And
Hmm.
they were, I don't know, average weight or didn't have weight problems, and none of them had anybody. And so
Hmm.
there was somebody
See,
else
it's
that said,
either way. It's either way.
yeah,
Yeah, it's either
either way,
paradigm.
there are plenty skinny women that aren't in relationships that want to be in one, right?
Hmm.
But here's the thing about it, is that they have figured out something about how to manage their situation that does not involve food.
Yes.
They
Yes.
and so that tells us. that there's some coping skills, there's some management skills that we can develop as sensitive people. And see, one of the things that I believe, this is my own personal belief, is that I believe those of us, those of us that are food addicts, that really lean into um, and struggle with this emotional overeating, it's just because we are very sensitive. I think we're more
Yes.
I think we're more
Yes.
sensitive than
Oh,
the average bear,
yes.
right?
Hmm.
And arrows hurt us more, and we and
Yes.
even the arrows that aren't intended for us, we get hurt by them, and we need to get something to figure out how to manage those arrows. And one of the things, right? One of the things, and I'm gonna share this, is that outside of this connected relationship that we might yearn for, that we might that we might even burn for, that we desire, that we're built for, is that we have to come to this place of acceptance that it may happen, it may not happen. And whether or not it does or it doesn't is not a determination of our worthiness. Is that we are lovable because we are lovable. We are lovable because we are built that way. And that we have to look for and seek out and find ways to pour into ourselves and build community and connection with other people for the sake of that connection. And that when we have connection with others, right, when we start building that skill of being able to connect from an authentic place,
Hmm.
from a real place, from and we can move some stuff out of the way, then we can start attracting what we
There you
want in
go.
our life. But we got to
Okay.
move some. That's a skill we have to learn. We have to stop connecting to food. We have to move the food out of the way
Yes.
to make room for the thing that we want to draw into
That
our
makes
lives.
sense. Okay, well, quickly, just 2 seconds. Talk to me about people who are booed up and or in unfulfilled relationships. Because I know people who eat their way through. He ain't paying me no attention, or it's so hard. They're in the hard phase of their marriage, or if we just had a baby, and he may have said something, or he didn't say anything because he's gaining weight because we're trying. What fill in the blank. So we have
Hmm.
someone. So what's that? What
Yes.
advice do you have
Yeah.
for that?
So
Because that's some
so
emotion driving you to eat
that
too.
that that's emotion driving it. That's emotion driving it too. And the big thing to understand is that, that's what life is. Life is an
Mm-hmm.
emotional roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it means to be lived, to be alive, to be fully
Mm-hmm.
engaged in your life. Life is to be moving to and from and through one emotional state to another. That
Mm-hmm.
that's how we know we're living, right? And
Okay.
so the the real thing is just for us to be able to be okay with that. And here's what I mean by be okay with that, is that
Okay.
we're in this place, or we kind of function in this world where there are definitions that are put on emotions. Oh, that's a good emotion, that's a bad emotion, that's a this, that's a that, right? And so because of that, we don't learn how to deal with them. Right? We feel
Mm-hmm.
like we aren't supposed to be emotional beings because it speaks to some sort of control or lack of control or whatnot. But the
Mm-hmm.
reality is, what emotions are information.
Mm-hmm.
We need emotions.
Mm-hmm.
They give us vital information to know how to respond to life. So the
Okay.
the real thing becomes that we have to lean into the emotions so we can learn what we're supposed to learn. It is about learning. It is about
Okay.
learning. And here, the other thing I keep saying, here's the thing. But as we learn to manage emotions, right,
Mm-hmm.
and not suppress them, and feel them, and identify them,
Mm-hmm.
then what we're able to do is identify what real hunger looks like. If we focus on knowing what it feels like when I'm angry. knowing what it feels like when I'm frustrated, knowing what it
Mhm.
feels like when I'm lonely, knowing what it
Mhm.
feels like when I'm sad, right?
Or
Knowing
happy. You stress me
or
for me
happy.
too. Happy,
Yes,
happy
or
emotion.
happy.
Okay.
And also knowing that I don't need food to accompany that emotion.
Okay.
So when you get to that place, right? I don't need food to accompany that emotion because I recognize that emotion. I just need food to satisfy hunger. Then you get used to dealing with being in the emotion for the sake of the emotion. Does that
Mm.
does that make sense? But
Mhm.
and it takes practice. You don't just all of a
Mhm.
sudden wake up knowing how to do it. But I'll give you a quick little example of something that happened to me.
Okay.
So one day I had a lot of things to do on my to-do list, and I am a person that is driven by a to-do list. I'm always, I need to go here, I need to go there, I need to drop this off, I need to pick this up. And I had some clothes in the back of my car that I had been trying to take to Goodwill for 3 months. And I finally made it to Goodwill. I had driven from DC to Baltimore. I made it back home. I drove up into the Goodwill like right before it was time for them to close. And I pulled around the corner and it was a big orange cone up and a chain across the thing, across the entryway, and they were
Mhm.
closed that day. Now, I've been running around all day with these clothes, right? I finally got them off to my to
Mhm.
and I got to that cone and that chain, and the next thing I thought to myself was, I think I want something to eat. I think I want something to eat. In the old days, before I learned how to process the emotion, before
Mhm.
I had these questions which I used to help me with that, I would have gone to get something to eat. But because I stopped, right, and said, "All right, why do I want something to eat right now?" Because when I pulled into the parking lot of this Goodwill, I was not hungry.
Mhm.
I wasn't even thinking about food, right?
Mhm.
So why this food now? Why do I feel like I'm hungry now? If I eat
Mhm.
now, is it going to give me the body and the health that I say that I want, right?
Mhm.
And am I hungry or am I something else?
Mhm.
And so I sat there and I looked at that cone and that chain and I said, "Oh, is the orange traffic cone and a chain a trigger for me? Right? Is that a trigger?" Well, no, it's not. But what's a trigger was the fact that I was frustrated and
Mhm.
angry because I didn't get what I wanted. And what I
Mhm.
wanted to do was get those clothes out of my car and strike off my to-do list and go on about my business, right?
Yes.
And so once I acknowledged I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm not hungry, the desire to eat went away. Once I
Mhm.
wrapped my head around what was really going on. And my solution was, I'll just come back tomorrow.
Okay.
Frustration went away. So, but only
Mhm.
because I was able to sit in it and ask those questions was I able to give myself some pause and not go directly across the street to whatever was across the street and get something to eat. And so that's why we have to have tools
Mhm.
to separate us from the desire to eat and the actual eating itself. Those tools,
That's
those
good.
those questions help us because they make us stop. They make us think. What's
Okay.
really going on here?
So let's talk about those tools. This past Saturday, y'all, I participated in one of those tools, and it was a 90-minute writing class. And we answered some questions. We identified information about our very selves. And it was who asked us to tell me about you in a way that was very unique, and then we wrote some answers and we could share it if we wanted to, and if we didn't want to, we were free to not share it. And that's something that's a boundary thing where we're given permission to say, if you don't want to talk, because remember, sometimes as children in the South, you're made to be smiling, be happy, go hug Uncle John, and you don't even like him, and you're 5 but you don't like him. So now as adults, we're able to be told it's okay if you say, I'm not going to say anything right now. Because
Yes.
sometimes when you're listening to this information, it's new and it's something that is different. So you need to kind of take a pause. And it's okay. That's part of it. We've been learning so much. We've not been told it's okay to take a pause.
Mm-hmm.
As you see me doing this and doing that, it's okay for me to lean this way because it makes my legs feel better. It's okay if I'm not perfect. It's okay if my hair is kinky. It's okay if my lashes aren't deep. And that's part of it. Also, last Monday, I was able to participate out of the kindness. Michelle has a support group, and we're each talking about our week, our frustrations, our successes, and things like that. And then coming up, she has a 52-week group as well. So there are three different opportunities to practice these tools. Some of them are not as expensive, under $50. Some are complimentary. Some are an investment. So in the description of this conversation is Michelle's contact information. She has a book. I've been talking about it for months, Leaving Large. If you want to grab this book, go right ahead. If you order it just from her, she'll autograph it. And if you order it from um, Amazon, then be sure to go to Amazon and give a Amazon review, of course, of 5 stars. Someone gave a comment, but I couldn't read it because it went too fast.
Let's see if I let me put on my glasses and see if I can find it down here.
I don't know how to find it, so it came, it went, it left.
Okay.
It said something
Yeah.
about a docu series that they had watched,
Okay. I can't.
and the
I can't.
first lady
Oh, I
said,
see it. I recently watched a series of documentaries about a person weighing more than 600 pounds. It was so scary and motivating. Yes.
"Oh yeah,"
Yes.
and
Yes.
as scary as that is, that does very little for me to know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sensationalizing obesity, sensationalizing somebody eating, a big amount of food. Where is the compassion? Where are the tools? It's, fussing and embarrassing them. That that doesn't give them the dignity.
Right. 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 And we.
So that's
It, go ahead.
no, that's why I'm here on my channel saying I don't always delight in losing weight. Once I lost weight, I spent 4 months stressed out. But here I am now taking advantage of this tool. I started going to Celebrate Recovery also. That's been very helpful. Um, and now I've replaced Celebrate Recovery with our Leaving Large support team with the Writing Your Way to Your Right weight loss. Even these last few weeks, I've been talking to y'all about they want me to do weight loss surgery. If I don't lose weight, they're going to make me. And one more person said to me, I believe you can do it. That's what I need. I mean, yeah, it's great if the insurance is going to pay for it, but what is that going to do for my tool?
Yeah. Right. Right.
So, so
That's
keep
exactly right.
talking to us, Michelle.
Yes.
Keep sharing hope. This is real hope.
Yes. Yes. I mean, in that, and I come here, Deborah, and I talk like I talk, right? I talk to anybody. I want people to read the book. I want people to come to that group on Mondays for emotional eating. I want people to come to the writing class. I want people to come to the 52-week program because
Mhm.
I want them to know that there is hope. I struggle. I struggled with this for 40 years. For 40 years, from the time I
Mhm.
was 20 until the time I was 60. This beast of food addiction and obesity robbed me because I was always I was on this hamster wheel, either try,
Mhm.
try, battling food and my emotions and my life all at the same time and trying to make it be like it was okay, trying to make it
Mhm.
seem like it was okay, right?
Mhm.
And that wears you out, right?
Oh
That
yeah. Oh yeah.
that wears you out, and and Deborah Ann, it robs you, right?
Even
It
this person in
robs you.
speaking in Russian, they're saying it's a real beast. They even in Russian or Arabic, it's one of those two languages. They're struggling over there too.
Yeah, you're struggling, right? And that and part of it is this, is that we get so many conflicting messages about
Mm-hmm.
what food is, right? And why we should eat. We have a toxic food environment that just wants us to eat for their profit. They just want
Mm-hmm.
us to eat stuff that does not nourish our body, that is not nutritious, that eat to eat just because it tastes good, eat just because it looks good, eat just because it smells good. And a lot of that stuff that is salty, fatty, and sugary, none of it is nutritious. None of
Mm-hmm.
it gives our body life, which is
Yes.
what
And
we
you know what
need.
else? That is amazing. Here I am thinking, oh, we need a Whole Food, or we need a nothing but all of those gourmet organic grocery stores. They're not nutritious either.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Isn't
That
that
that that
amazing?
is that is
Trader
exactly.
Joe's. I was like, I gotta get to Trader Joe's because they got discount flowers and it's
Mm,
organic. I gotta buy something.
mhm.
They're
No.
not any more nutritious than any other place you get
Mm,
food. I'm
no.
eating an apple and it had no taste. I'm
Yeah.
eating cucumbers this week. I can't eat them this week because last week they had no taste. I'm like, what
Yeah.
is going on?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
it and
So
and so we are tricked, Deborah Ann,
yes,
in many cases into thinking that the big problem is access
exactly.
to quality food.
Yes.
And
Well,
I'm not saying that access isn't a problem, but I'm saying
mm-hmm.
it is not the only problem. A bigger problem is desire. Because I tell you,
Exactly.
if you put an apple, whether it's tasteless or not, in front of somebody, you put an apple in front of somebody, a fried apple pie, and your mama's apple pie, that apple is the last thing that is going to be picked. And it is the only thing of those three choices that is going to serve your nutritional needs.
Yes.
But
Michelle,
yes.
we need a little bit more support. Tell us how we can get your TED talk. I've been meaning to ask you that because
Yes. Okay.
30 minutes a day isn't enough. Some of us, we really need to get that TED talk and watch it and soak it in. And I'm going to watch it this week too. So
So
explain
so
to
so
us how to
so the
access your TED talk.
So here's the thing with the TED Talk is that
Okay.
I recorded it 2 weeks ago. I performed it live 2 weeks
Okay.
ago.
Very
Once you
good.
once you perform it, then they have to edit it
Okay.
and vet it and send it up to the TED people, and then they send the link out. As
Oh, good.
soon as
Okay.
I get the link, as soon as I
Okay.
get the link, I'm gonna send it to you, and you can send it out.
Exactly.
And anybody that gets it,
Okay.
they can send it out because we want a whole
Good.
bunch of people getting
Yes.
the message, getting the real
Exactly.
message on how to reclaim our life, reclaim our health,
Amen.
reclaim our emotions, so we
Okay.
can
Well, tell
feel
us.
feel our emotions and eat for reasons that support our health. And
Thank you, Ivan.
if somebody wants to get in touch with me and find out more about my 52 weeks of transformation, the
Yes.
transforming your mind first, then your
Yes.
body, then your life, because we dive deep. Every week we're pulling back, we're going deep on a different emotion, whether it's
Okay.
shame, whether it's fear, whether it's anger, whether it's frustration. Because here's the thing, we gain the weight in our mind before it
Yes.
ever shows up on our body.
Okay. Thanks, Frida. Thanks, Porch Lady. Share with us how we can tune in to your weekly program on Wednesdays, because that's another way we can get some tools, or once a month Wednesdays.
Once
How
a
do
month,
we find you? How do we find you?
once a month on Wednesday, the third Wednesday of every month, it is Get the Backstory Live. And if
Okay.
you just go to the Source TV and Radio Network, or you just type
Mm-hmm.
in Get the Backstory Live, Michelle Pettis, it
Okay.
will come up. It will come up, and
Great.
the
Great.
show next Wednesday is going to be off the chain. And what we do in that show is and Deborah Ann, you were on. You were on.
Yeah.
Uh, we I share stories of transformation because
Mhm.
people need to be encouraged and get inspiration wherever you are on the journey. At the beginning, at the end,
Yes.
we need to hope, we need to see that it's possible. And that's what Get the
Yes.
Backstory Live is all about. That's what I'm all about. That's what being brand new is all about. And if you want to get in touch with me, it's Michelle at michellepettis.com. I will answer you personally. And Deborah Ann, thank you for this platform. Thank you for this conversation.
Thank you,
And
Michelle.
I'll be back again next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Those of us who are using a walker, using a cane, you have a wheelchair, you are obese or you're underweight, because some of us who are underweight struggle too. Those of us who have home care workers, those of us who, like me, I weigh over 400 pounds, honey, and we have home care workers who are helping us with our meals and helping us to clean up and those type of things and grooming. We want you to be encouraged. No matter if you're working every day and it's hard for you. I remember when it was hard for me to walk from my car to my desk, and I said, I'm not gonna be able to go to work because I can't walk. And then on the times when I'm exercising a lot, I never thought about that. And then when my knees started hurting, I was holding on to the wall walking. So all of those steps, we still need tools. And once we get it up here, then we will begin to deal with it here.
Get it
And
up
it's
here first.
like an onion, like an onion. And it makes so much sense. And moving and exercising, it makes you feel good. And it also helps you while you're learning here and peeling your onion back to know that you can change your life. And if you use your weight loss tools and you have surgeries and all of that, and a lot of times losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight is normal. So if you've had the weight loss surgery, come on over here, get in that 52-week transformation program. You've already made the biggest commitment. Now let's keep peeling back here so we can work on here. And I promise you, you will be encouraged. Michelle, she don't even speak loud. I love people who don't talk loud. I talk loud all the time. But the calm people, the calm. That's very encouraging. I'm like, get your big paper off that couch. Let's go. Only big people can tell another big person, let's go. So thank you. We got Michelle and Michelle Pettis. We got what's the type, the backstory? Say that again for me.
Get the Backstory. Get
Get
the
the
Backstory Live.
backstory. We can Google that. Get the backstory live the third Wednesday of each month.
Hmm.
And keep texting us, letting us know how hard it is. It's perfectly okay to admit it's difficult. It's not
Yes.
impossible, though. It's okay.
Yes.
And those of you who've lost weight, let us know. You've lost 100 pounds, you lost 10 pounds, you lost 5 pounds. So we want to hear it all. We want to support you in your journey in every step of the way.
Absolutely. Every step of the way.
Every step of the way. Thank you. This has been so nice. It's been very nice tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank
I'll
you,
see
Deborah
you
Ann.
next Thursday, okay?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Bye, y'all. Peace and hair grease. Peace and hair grease. Bye.